And okay, recording is in progress now. And why are we here tonight? Are you looking for ideas to attract visitors to your club? Or gain new members and re-energize your meetings? Or do you have an idea to launch a new club? Now it's time to boost your membership. Considered to be a club's #1 membership building tool, Speechcraft is a blended learning program for non-members interested in building their communication skills. Keep your club healthy by hosting a fast-track 4 to 6 or 8-week series during your meeting to immediately boost membership. Hosting a Speechcraft is ideal to attract new members to an existing club, conduct a program in the community, train staff in a business or in an organization, begin forming a new club, and fundraise to offset club expenses. In this session, you will discover what Speechcraft is and how hosting a series will benefit your club and members, including fundraising. How to launch and market an effective Speechcraft series, and graphic design tips to attract visitors and how to convert them into members. The key to the success of your program is marketing. With over 45 years in graphic design, distinguished Toastmaster Sheryl Roush has written 5 books on marketing and has presented over 3,500 full-day seminars around the globe, including the UK and Ireland, and virtual sessions for District 71, 95, and 109. Sheryl is yet the youngest woman to have earned the accredited speaker professional designation from Toastmasters. Only 95 members in the world have earned the credential globally. A 17-time published author, her Solid Gold newsletter design book, created for Toastmasters, also became a course book for marketing at the University of Ottawa in Canada. Sheryl is also the author of The Heart of a Toastmaster, which published 135 true stories by our members, including past International President Pat Johnson, endorsed on the back cover by Ted Corcoran. With our special session on marketing Speechcraft effectively, let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Sheryl Roush. Sheryl, the stage is yours.
Oh, my goodness. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So good evening, good morning, wherever you may be in this glorious world of Toastmasters, and welcome. Let's talk Speechcraft. Anytime that you have a question, please pop that into the chat to the attention of Daruk. He is going to be collecting those questions, many of which I hope I anticipate and then answer them throughout the session. It'll be about 60 minutes, and then we'll pause. We'll take our photos. We love our gallery photos. And then we'll come back for Q&A as well. And you'll notice that this program is highly tailored for you. So please put into the chat where you are attending from, and anywhere in the world, we greet you. Yesterday, I was on the session with Pat Johnson, and hers is a Canadian accent. Mine is the American one. So if you're wondering, yes, matter of fact, from San Diego, California, here in the United States, District 5, home of Helen Blanchard, the very first female international president. Watch the chat box for the handouts. There are going to be 2 resources for you. And if by chance you don't get to see the copy or download the handout, then you will see what the pages are as we go through this program. So let's jump into the chat box. Let's have a conversation. Why did you join Toastmasters? So as you are answering that question in the chat box, let me tell you about our global family. Internationally, we have 14 regions around the globe. You belong to region 10, of which you include districts 59, 71, 91, 95, 107, 108, 109, and 110. So within that, let's look at your district. So now you are comprised in embracing 16 countries with 14 languages. I will be speaking in English. You might be interested, though. I understand that we do have a French speaking club that is getting ready to charter and to host a Speechcraft. Well done. The handout has been provided of this program in French, translated by our Canadian members in District 61. So Melton does have that handout, size A4 is, I believe, and translated into French. So I hope that you are able to take advantage of that. All right, so why did you join? All right, then let's take a look, because right now in District 109, we have 133 clubs in 29 areas, 6 divisions, and again, 16 countries and 14 languages. All right, so let me go into the chat here. Why did you join? And the reason I ask this is because as we are looking at marketing Speechcraft effectively, it's important for us to know what brought us through the doors or online, because chances are someone else could also benefit from hearing our story, being asked those pertinent questions of what would you like to do? How would you like to improve for personal, professional development? So let's see, we have members. Oh, hello, South Africa, District 74. Thank you. All right. We have the Caribbean. Hello. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. All right. Okay, I'm looking thank you very much, Lino, very first. All right, our Speechcraft coordinator for the district, to improve my leadership skills beside communication. Thank you. All right, thank you. To learn techniques of communicating a key message. Thank you. To develop your leadership and communication skills. Wonderful. Well, let me share with you a little bit of my story. I had never set out to be a leader or a professional speaker. No. At a business networking meeting, I was asked to stand and introduce myself. I was horrible, tripped over my own tongue. And I was invited to an 8-week communication skills series that was being held at this Mexican restaurant in San Diego, which is very close to the Mexico border. And the woman who invited me even said she would buy me breakfast. Huevos rancheros. Yes, sí, muy bueno. And this is the actual restaurant. Pat Johnson took this snap for me. This 8-week communication skills program was hosted by a Toastmaster club, and it was actually a Speechcraft program. I am here to share with you the value of this program 38 and a half years later after I joined. It was March 19th, 1987. Yes, I joined very young. Thank you. Thank you. It changed my life. My icebreaker was absolutely horrible. I hung on to the lectern as tortillas were flying across the room and the wait staff was dropping dishes and silverware. If you could speak at 7 in the morning with chaos, you can speak anywhere. Little did I know what great training that would be. So I gave my icebreaker. I cried. No, really, I did. I cried. There were 19 ahs and ums. It was pretty bad. My first 3 speeches, matter of fact, I cried. And as I was introduced to another district recently, the introducer noticed that there was only 6 years between me crying at my icebreaker and earning the accredited speaker designation for professional speaking skills. That was never my goal. My goal of why I joined was to become a better boss. for my graphic design studio and my 6 employees that were working with me and to serve our clients better, I joined to become a better boss. And here I became a professional speaker and a 17-time author. You might be familiar, having heard me keynote. I was a keynote speaker for the District 109 Train-a-thon. That's me right there, right next to our immediate past international president. Yep, I was the one that launched that program. So I'm thrilled that I could be part of that. If you've not had a chance yet, please do download the handout from the chat box. And let's jump in, because on page 2, the conversation continues. Marketing is what? So let me have you answer that question in the chat box. Marketing is what? What is marketing? Let me see some of your responses here. So what is marketing? Good. Okay. All right. Great. Oh, and thank you. Thank you, Africa. So seeing that you joined to improve public speaking skills. Yes. Oh, there we go. It seems my chat is running late. All right. Katrina, thank you. To develop your public speaking and communication skills. You joined because someone told you to join and help us. This is great, especially if you have no trouble speaking in front of people. All right. To improve your speaking skills. All right. So marketing is to promote your nonprofit idea. So Amber, you will be able to take the marketing design strategies from this session, even though we're focused on Speechcraft and marketing our clubs in general, you'll be able to apply this to other efforts as well. Ramesh, okay, to promote leads. Thank you. Alice, it is branding, promotion and branding. Marketing is showing your passion for something. Yes, passion. So raise interest in the solutions. All of those are absolutely correct. So let's start filling in some blanks here. And we're going to take a look at 2 markets. So consider adding those onto the side. So here's the definition that I use for marketing is getting the word out. We are the solution to their problem. Now, when you joined, there was something that you really wanted to accomplish in your life. I wanted to be a better boss. You may have wanted to become a better communicator, something work related. So here's a question that we are answering, that we are the solution to their problem or their challenge. It's their desired outcome or the results. When we introduce and invite a non-member, potential new member, into our Toastmasters experience, we need to pull back, like the woman who invited me to the Speechcraft and asked me, what would I like to improve in? I wanted to be a better boss. Well, that meant listening, thinking, and yes, speaking, and communication, and giving supportive feedback. All of those things. Those are my desired outcome and results. So what people are looking for is the value. They're looking for the benefits. So when we can start identifying, feel free to capture a screenshot. There's a couple that I'll recommend. Go ahead and take a screenshot. The session is being recorded. So I have a list of suggested needs, challenges, and potential desired outcomes. And you are welcome to use this tick box list as idea starters for promoting your regular club meetings, as well as any Speechcraft program that you are going to be starting. So I'm giving you some marketing overview, then we'll get specific and we'll take a look at some visual samples too. So here we go. All right, so let's identify our 2 markets, and they're very different. Market number 1 is internal. These are our current members. That's you and me. We are internal, so in-house messaging, if you will. The second market, though, are external. These are people who have not yet heard of Toastmasters, might be curious to know more, then we want to invite them to an open house or a special event. This is where we are going to be focusing, but we're going to be taking a look at each of these 2. Here is the key takeaway. Match the message to that particular audience. The message that we have for internally, whether it be for the district or Region 10, that the messaging is going to be different to current members who know about the organization, who are interested in the club officer training sessions, who are interested in the club growth directive initiatives. So they already know, but the external doesn't know at all. The message, the language, the graphics, the image, the approach, everything is different depending on which market we are attracting. So here's a few visual samples. This one from District 71 from Brand Builders. This is an internal message. Again, looking for ideas to attract guests to your club. This is internal. Here's another one, Anatolia, and I know that you're here. I saw you in the chat. So thank you, right here in area B7, Division Bravo. All right, so then this is internal, and here's how I interpret this. It may have been intended to be external, but everything about this is internal. Here's how I know. It's the 99th meeting. It's the name of the club. It's where you're located. It's the date, the time, the ID, the theme of the meeting, the Toastmaster of the evening. That's internal. If a non-member looked at this, which I believe this was on either LinkedIn, no, this was on the district Facebook group. If this went out externally, people would not understand what it is because there's nothing yet. This is proper. This is okay for an internal message, but it would need to be tweaked. Do you know tweak? Is that a phrase? Tweak. All right. So modified slightly in order to be acceptable for external to draw them in. So here's an external message promoting an open house. And this is out of District 21, out of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. So this is set up to be external for people who do not know anything about this organization. And they're looking for, what's the benefit to me? Is it worth my time? Here's another one, District 71 out of Ireland, a Speechcraft promotion. Again, you're welcome to take snapshots of any of these slides to get some ideas. And we'll go more into depth, and I'll even show you some makeovers of a few different things too. Again, external message to improve public speaking skills. You will learn too, and they are a bulleted list of benefits. That is key. District 95 out of Denmark. All right, so then again, this is an external message, and I love that it opens with questions. You'll see that that's one of the key approaches to effective marketing strategy. Sometimes things just need to be placed in a different placement than where they are. All right, I'm quoting Pat Johnson. I took this photo of her during yesterday's session, and I'm quoting her because as she would drive home, and her expertise is with corporate employee training programs, where Toastmasters has a club or a training program inside of that organization. So her key question is, what value do we deliver? What value do we deliver? Think back again to why you originally joined, because they, our potential members, are buying benefits. You and I do the same thing. We buy benefits. So let's see how that shows up in everything that we're promoting. There are 3 stages of marketing communication, still on page 2 inside the handout. And they need to occur in this particular order. Now, this information will be relevant to promoting your own nonprofit idea, your products, your services across the board. This is tried and proven. I have used this since I became aware of them probably 45 years ago. It makes a difference. What we'll take a look at here are what are each of the stages, and where are they placed in a layout to be most effective, to grab attention, bring them in, and drive them to the response that we want. So stage 1 is relevance. In French, the word would be pertinent, I believe. So with relevance, the question that the reader's asking is, well, should I read it, file it? Can I toss? Can I click away? They are looking, just as we are, for the value. What's in it for me, which refers to the benefits. The time available, and the research on this comes from David Ogilvy in his book, Confessions of an Advertising Man. Again, tried and proven. The time available with stage one, it's very quick, 1 to 7 seconds. You and I do the same thing when we're looking at a social media poster or even opening our post in the mail. We're doing the same thing, 1 to 7 seconds. It's that fast. Stage one has to grab their attention. I'm a firm believer in asking questions that name the pain in the headline and then answering the question lower into the layout. Stage two, then, now that we've connected the pertinence, is the confirmation. What they are looking for here is, was I correct? Was I right? Does it relate to me? The time available on stage two is now longer. It's 1.5 minutes. This may be when we start browsing the tick box list, or we're looking for, is this a Zoom or a Teams meeting? Or we're looking for, am I available? Do I have a conflicting meeting at that particular time? So confirmation is more. Again, the relevance needs to grab their attention. Confirmation, they're confirming, yes, it's a good thing I kept reading, which then drives them to stage three, the action. We also know it as the call to action in sales. So they're asking, what do I do now? Here's where we need to tell them exactly what to do and not make any assumptions that they know because there's a Zoom link to register that they're supposed to click at. We need to create, here's a good tip for you, create a sense of urgency. Register now is a key call to action. The time available with stage three is as long as needed. Some people will go back and they'll browse, they'll kind of skim to see if they missed anything. Avid readers will go back and reread and look for details. So where do these get placed in the layout? This would be a potential flyer on the side, but it also in a horizontal layout for a social media poster relates to the same type of layout. Relevance is a very small area at the top of the document, the viewing space. Again, this would be a great place for a question. I use 1 or 3 questions that name their pain. It calls it out, hands it back to them in the form of a question. So that's stage one, relevance up at the very top. In external marketing, this is not where the Toastmaster logo goes. Internal, it's okay. Not external. If they don't know what Toastmasters is, it's not relevant. See where we have 2 different markets there? Stage 2, then confirmation takes up the majority of the real estate, if you will, how things are laid out and where they go. It would be all of the details in there. And finally, at the bottom, also a small area, the call to action. This is where the Toastmaster logo goes. This is where the QR code goes that people can click and register as easily. Go ahead and capture a screenshot here. That's the full slide. So now we understand the 3 stages of marketing communication. They need to occur in this order. One of the biggest mistakes that happens in marketing is that we're very excited. We want to put, join us for our open house right there up at the top. Well, that's join us for our event. There's no relevance, not yet. So let's take a look at how we can modify those to be more effective. Again, match the message to that audience. Is it internal? Is it external? And no, they cannot be both. That's not effective marketing. I know we would like to. Who needs to know? Everybody. I know, but to be more specific, here's a flyer that I did for Pat Johnson. She is chartering a new club. You know, she moved from the west coast of Canada over to the east coast, from the left over to the right. And in her new community, of course, she is launching a new club with Dawn Frail, past international director. So what does this look like using those 3 stages? Relevance. There are the 3 questions up at the top. And even though, yes, the logo is up at the top, and here's why. The logic is on that. This community has had a Toastmasters club in the past, so there is some familiarity. Otherwise, the questions would go at the very, very top. So we have relevance with the questions naming the pain, the confirmation of what it is that they're going to be getting, or as Pat would say, the value, and then more details. The call to action is to contact her with the QR code. Very effective. So I took the same concept over into a social media poster, which then could also be a mailer postcard. So same thing, everything matches using the 3 stages. Make sense? Thumbs up? Yes? Just this part alone will probably transform how you think about doing any marketing. And it also relates in your text. So for instance, in your posts in LinkedIn and Facebook, and even over onto Instagram, as well as Meetup, so wherever you are choosing to promote your club. All right, then do you feel nervous speaking in front of an audience? Do you struggle to organize your thoughts? Imagine delivering. I love this. The relevance, that is key. This is well done. Name the pain, hand it back to the reader, the potential visitor or member, in the form of questions. Then moving into the confirmation. So this is promoting a Speechcraft. Notice it says communication skills seminar. We'll come back to that text because we want to modify we're inviting you because it's still about us. It needs to be about them. So what's included for it, limited time, the what's in it for me, the call to action. So let's go back up there. If I were to rewrite the text of we're inviting you, something that it could say, which is more about them, is you will benefit, keyword, me, and benefit, create a sense of urgency immediately, from this communication skills seminar experience. And then instead of what's included for $90, your tuition includes. Now it's an investment. All right, so all of this, go ahead and capture a screenshot if you'd like. Limited spots also creates a sense of urgency, registered today. So minor tweaks for that. And $90 tuition. So here's the formula. First of all, ask questions that name the pain, either 1 or 3 questions. And bold italic font is the best for that. Italics creates action, or italic font creates emphasis. Bold italic font creates action. There you go. The second part of the formula is name what the benefits are. And finally, the call to action. So let's take a closer look at this one here. All right. And again, from the same club. All right. So let's take a look here. Asking the question, let's modify that. So again, all right, so I'm removing the logo. This is external, removing the logo from the top. Ask a question, relevance. This one happens to be 2. That's all there was in the space for this particular one. The event headline or a benefit-driven title. So unlock your public speaking potential. That's pretty good. We're creating a communication skills seminar experience. All right, the benefits would go higher into the layout. And then how will you benefit? Those are the tick marks that need to go higher up into the layout. Practice in a safe, small group setting with peer support. Register now. Good call to action. Yes. And let's put our logo in there. There you go. We could even modify this slightly to include a QR code. Those are tweaks. I pulled this one up of, I believe it was Facebook. I did some scouting around. I always like to see what you're up to and be able to give you specific examples of how things can be tweaked. So if this is your club or if this is one of your clubs, thank you. All right, so again, starts out with asking questions. Great. Here's what we want to modify. The neuroscience behind how the brain works takes a look at any negatives and it cannot process it. So don't miss. The brain skips the don't, sees a do, and goes to the verb. So this would say instead of don't miss, it says miss. Oops. All right. So we want to modify that, change it into being more positive. take advantage of this exciting opportunity. Anything along that line. All right, so then join us as we, even though the rest of this is ideal, we just need to modify the us and we and make it about them. I believe we have a graphic here. Yes. All right, so if 80% of people, by the way, are very visually inclined. So even though the text is good that accompanied this particular poster, what if we're busy and we're only looking at graphics? So let's make some modifications to this. If this is your club, or it's a great learning visual for this, is to put some benefits in this particular graphic. So this looks like, even though the text was external, this visual is internal. We need to align them. What about asking the questions up here in the graphics? Is it okay to repeat text in the graphic and in the comment post? Yes, especially to increase the rate of response. So I would tweak this a little bit and put some benefits into this particular graphic. Oh, look, there we go. All right. So I love seeing when clubs use their people. There were several on Facebook as I was going through the District 109 Facebook and watching all the feed. Use photos of your own people whenever you can. So let's talk about building membership and why it's absolutely critical for us at this time. District 109 and the region and the world has membership goals, which fulfill, it's not just numbers, it's about reaching our mission. It is supporting our mission to grow and to stay vital and sustainable. Well, what does that mean for our regular club meetings? Did you know that there's about 15 meeting roles? That's without any overlap. That's with 3 speakers in a 1-hour time, no overlap at all. Plus you have a Zoom master. All right, so whether it be hybrid or virtual, yes, that's 16 people that we need minimum present at a meeting in order to cover all of the roles, again, without the speaker being their own counter and evaluating their own speech. Yeah, we've all been there. All right, plus you want table topics participants who are not prepared speakers, not the general evaluator. Plus 2 visitors per meeting. So let's make sure that that is our goal. So, and then additional audience. Yes, our area director, and not just when their report is due. Yes, we want to keep that conversation and the line of service in our inverted pyramid. So here's our goal for a meeting. 25 people. Go ahead and capture a screenshot. Take this back to your club. That's our goal. 25 people at every meeting. In person, online, or hybrid. There you go. All right. Toastmasters Israel. Thank you. All right. So it opens up with a question. Great. And then this was a 4-club event. 4 clubs, 1 unforgettable evening. All right. So then is this internal or external? Primarily internal, although it has potential to be external. So for instance, Ready to be Inspired needs a little bit more something for an external reader to be curious, if you will. All right, so then here's a benefit. The takeaway: training to master impromptu speeches. Okay, networking, amazing. Okay, great. Anna Silver. Okay, great. So those could be bullet points, yes. Here's how I know it could be external, whether you're a member or just curious, you're invited. All right, so that could be boosted a little bit more. What the invitation's about is an open house. All right, so here's what works on this, that the Toastmaster with hands going toward the open house, that's called implied motion. Anytime that there is a person or a cartoon or an image that has any type of motion, it needs to be bringing the reader's eye back into the graphic. So if he had been pointing to the other side, yikes, it would have led our eyes off the ad and we never would have read anything else. So this could be tweaked based on, this is an external message to an open house. Toastmaster logo, probably move to the bottom. So stage 1, maybe ask a question. Ask a question of, ready to boost your speaking or even communication instead of the word speaking skills? Question mark. There you go. That would be great up in the blue area. And then more benefits here, more details, everything down at the bottom. All right, so right here, open house and the day are the two largest things on this graphic. Yet what is also important is that this is a bilingual event. So a little bit more benefit. I would like to know if it's an open house, what else I can expect. We think an open house is that it's more social and that we get cookies. So what if this were called a free seminar instead? A free seminar where you have a particular speaker that is selling the benefits of Toastmasters, yet giving skills at the same time. I'll come back and I'll give you more ideas on this. I would also like to know as a guest what time the event ends. All right, so I would like to know that. It's great that it's free entrance. Again, just opening our mindset to what can we do to be more effective in marketing external to bring the visitors in and get them interested in our Toastmasters experience. So let's take a look at what really is a healthy membership. Now we know how many people we need to have at a regular meeting. What does that mean to our club's health? 20 is still charter strength for our clubs, whether it be a community club, specialty, or an advanced club. 20 is that number. So something to take back, even though you might not be receiving credit for attending this is going to make a world of difference in your club, is to ensure that you always have 20, 21, 22 members on the roster, because then we are truly living the Toastmasters experience and our mission. Pat Johnson spoke wonderfully yesterday regarding the values of Toastmaster clubs inside of corporations, which are referred to as employee training programs. The language is also different. And I'll make a recommendation of her book. There we go. And there's also a resource document that Druk has been placing into our chat box. So having more members means more creativity, energy, engagement, fun, feedback, accomplishments. Wouldn't you agree? All right, so make your goal higher than what it has been, because here's what the current numbers are according to the dashboard of just a few days ago. Currently in our district, 133 clubs. All right, this is good. However, we want to take a look at the breakdown of the club sizes. So for instance, the average club size, according to this, is less than 20, so 19.4. Yet our district goals for this year are 17 newly chartered clubs and not either or, and increase the retention rate in your current clubs. So here's a couple of numbers to point out, and go back and look at the dashboard. You can go in and you can check the numbers for yourself, exactly how many members that you have on the roster, and find ways to boost what your membership number is, including Speechcraft. All right, so these two numbers combine that currently 56.4% of the clubs in District 109 are under charter strength. Yet your goal is to continue being a Smedley's distinguished district. So how do we do that? Thanks for asking. All right, let's jump into Speechcraft, okay? So then in the resource document, it's a Word document that's also placed into the chat. I've indicated all of these links and additional resources for you, making it very easy. Toastmasters has our own YouTube channel, and there are numerous things posted there, including the World Championship speeches, the accredited speakers who have passed for the designation. But we're going to talk about Speechcraft here. So as an overview, Speechcraft is Toastmaster International's #1 club building tool. It is a trademarked product of Toastmasters International. So it is indicated as Speechcraft, all one word, put together, not separated. That is trademarked. We own that as intellectual property. And on social media, you can use the hashtag Speechcraft. Years ago, I registered it so that everything in social media, when you're doing a search for that hashtag, it'll come up for you. So on behalf of the organization as a brand ambassador. All right, so then Speechcraft is a 4, 6, or 8-week series. Everything, all the materials are created. So Lino and his panel will be addressing that more in just next week, the 19th of November. That everything is there, the curriculum, the agendas, everything that a Speechcraft coordinator would need. The digital bundle is $50 US. That it includes materials or accommodations for 5 non-members referred to lovingly as Speechcrafters. So I was a Speechcrafter. I found that when I walked through that meeting and there was so much applause, I didn't even know what was going on. I signed an application that day. Well, my Speechcraft tuition included dues all the way through the end of that membership period, like 6 months. I got 6 more months out of my tuition. So we'll talk about how much could that be. This is the fee to the club. So the 50 US is paid for by the club or by the member in the club who will then be reimbursed for that particular expense. All right, that's not what you necessarily charge for each Speechcrafter. So it's important to point out here, one of the big questions is, well, do the members of the club also pay a tuition to participate? No, it's a benefit. It's a benefit of the member to be able to participate in the Speechcraft program with new potential members coming in. So here's a couple of policy regulators. It must be hosted by a club in good standing. The club pays the $50 US, which accommodates 5 Speechcrafters. They're going through the program, doing exactly what it is that we do. One of those club members from the host club will serve as the Speechcraft coordinator. And Lino, again, can be helping you with this. He is your point of contact for the entire district. Yay! Thank you for stepping up and saying yes. So what happens if you have 7 Speechcrafters? The club must purchase 2 bundles because it's only for one person, 2 bundles, and the club can now have 2 Speechcraft coordinators and divide them. So it wouldn't be like 5 and 2, but what if you did 3 and 4 and break up the workload a little bit? So yes, you can do that. And both members who serve as Speechcraft coordinator will receive credit for their distinguished Toastmaster. Yay! For most people, I'm finding that it's the final requirement that they need for the leadership designation. All right, so Speechcraft is kind of like our word. I've always kind of thought, does it tell a non-member what it is? Well, it could. It's the craft of speaking, but it's also leadership. So it ties in both communication and leadership. In this particular example, this is a 6. So remember, you can have 4, 6, or 8 weeks. Communication workshop. You can call it a couple of other things, though. Like when I joined, it was an 8-week communication skills series. You could call it a workshop. You could call it a series. Some districts, District 12 is represented here today from Los Angeles-ish area of California. They call it a fast track or a jump start. So if any of those phrases work for you, again, it's how can you get people engaged into our Toastmasters experience? All right, so now taking a look at the marketing, how do you plan and implement it? Also in the handout over onto page 3, I've given a lot of details, and this is available translated into French, compliments of District 61 Canada, eh? All right, fundraising. Can you make money on this to help offset your club expenses? Yes. Can the person who is hosting it pocket the money? No. My club hosted a very successful Speechcraft series, and I'll share that story with you. And the club was so excited, they wanted to throw a party and take everybody out to dinner. No. It must be used for educational materials. So right there, TI policy, no individuals, educational institutions, or other organizations may derive financial gain either directly or indirectly from hosting these programs. So again, the money is the expense of the bundle comes from the club or a member of that club that will be reimbursed. And the income goes back into the club's treasury to be used appropriately for educational purposes. So my secret to Speechcraft success in all of the programs I've conducted, been involved with, mentored other people to conduct, which typically bring in 10 to 12 new members each time. The tuition is based on what are the expenses plus the $10 per person of that $50 bundle. And are there any additional expenses? And then include 6 months of dues in the tuition. So as Pat Johnson would say, that as they are going through their program is to encourage them to continue to come to the regular meetings for practice. Again, it's not, well, here's the Speechcraft, separate from the dues, bring it all together, sell it as a package. We need to think a little bit bigger with this. Think bigger, think long-term. And that's what my club did 38 years ago. They included the practice. So the TI policy indicates on what we can charge for each non-member Speechcrafter coming into the Speechcraft program. It can be no more than 2 semi-annual dues. As an example, maximum tuition could be $120 US. Now, can you charge less? Yes. Can you charge more? No. That is the stipulation. So your basic formula might be whatever the member fee is, the 6 months dues, the Speechcraft series costs, and that includes the membership. And it may be, let's say, 80 in your currency. If you do the maximum, great. It could be that you create a scholarship and send them to the summit later this month. That is educational purposes. How about that? All right. So also included on page 4 inside of your handout is a sample flyer that you are welcome to use as a model for both design, because it implements the 3 stages: relevance, confirmation, and action, placed into a progressive layout. This would be a flyer with bullet points that are the benefits and value that they will receive, and then for whatever that the tuition is. So you can utilize this. You could take the PDF, put it into your word processing system, and change the PDF into a Word doc or similar, and use it, modify it, tweak it. This is a good model for you, though, to follow. I hope that it's helpful. My objective is to make this easier, and that you be very successful with your Speechcraft. TI, again, as I had mentioned, has so much support. All of the resources, all of the materials, the curriculum, everything is there. So this is item number 493. And you can go online and just take a look at it. And if you're considering becoming a Speechcraft coordinator, then when you go in to purchase the bundle, a couple of things to be aware of. Do not indicate your start date, because it locks in. You cannot change that. Do not indicate the Speechcraft coordinator in case that also changes. And do not indicate the fee that will be charged. Everything else, you can purchase it, just don't fill in those places, and Lino and his team can address that more. Then you want to be able to, especially the Speechcraft coordinator, is to download all the materials. Give yourself a month to review all of the materials, because you will also need to set up your guides who are the members of your club. So this is part of the content as an overview. And notice that each of these topics, there are 8 different items here. That's the program in a nutshell. These are things that we already do in Pathways. We'll turn the page 5 inside of the handout. Here is a promotional flyer as an idea of, again, what goes where, knowing that we do. Then take a look at the series schedule. Those are all the 8 from the previous page, from the previous slide. That is what happens in each of the 8 sessions for an 8-week course. Make sense? There's more. Where do you get people to speak on these projects? From your club. Your club members get to step up. All of the course curriculum, is provided on each of these particular topics. So they get to practice their speaking and training techniques with a program that is tried and proven with the materials, the curriculum guide, the handout, the slides are all completely provided for each of those 8 different topics. It's called the Better Speaker Series set. So your members could be the educational speakers. You could have members from outside of your club, which helps infuse your members. If they're getting bored and they need a little bit of reinvigoration, bring in someone from your area, from a different area, from division, from the district, from outside of your district, from outside of your region. Today, that's what Melton did. We met at the International Convention in Philadelphia. She invited me, and then she told me earlier tonight that she'd always wanted to have me come and present. Well, now we can. You've had Verity Price before. Goodness, you've got Richard Peck coming up. You just had Pat Johnson. You've got Monica Rose coming in. There's no end to who you can invite to bring in their subject matter expertise. The accredited speakers invite us. We're subject matter experts in our fields. Mine's marketing. That's why I love Speechcraft. I joined on one. All right, so then where do you get all of this material to help out? Glad you asked. Because you can go online. This is also, all these links are included in the Speechcraft document, the Word document in the chat box. In the series, they are set up as 10 to 15-minute educational speeches to be given inside of your club. Or if you are hosting, so let me talk about that for a second. There are different ways that you can utilize Speechcraft. My first suggestion, if you want to build your club to charter strength or even greater, is to host your Speechcraft series within your regular club meetings. It could be a 4, 6, or 8-week series. You decide, and then decide who it would be ideal for, and you can tailor your series to. Let's say that you have people who are getting ready for the English proficient exam. It could be that you're a bilingual club, that your Speechcraft is all in English to help those multilingual potential members practice for their exam. Could be, right? So all of that, the 10 to 15-minute segments of those particular topics, all of these are part of the Better Speaker Series set. If you are launching a new club, hold the Speechcraft at a different time other than your regular club meeting. You can draw help from other clubs in your area, but the Speechcraft coordinator must still be a member of that hosting club, even though you have help from other clubs. That person gets the credit for it. That's how you can start a new club, with a free special event, then a demonstration or an information meeting, instead of calling it an open house. Sounds like a party. People want to know more information. And then the second week after that, I'll break this down. The second week after the free seminar, then you launch a Speechcraft series. I'll show you samples of that. All right, so these are the programs, the speeches that your members or people that you invite to come in to present on each of these. And you're thinking, oh, how much does it cost? Gratis. It is free. All of these, all of the curriculum, everything that comes with it, they are free. So you do want to download them. You can use these at any time to help build your club and help infuse your club even outside of a Toastmaster Speechcraft program. It could be have an educational speaker on using body language. That's fun. All right. So then on page 6, the final page in the actually handout is more information and frequently asked questions as well as support. So that completes the handout related to Speechcraft. Let me share with you more of how to make this work. Our goal is to convert visitors, looky-loos, that are curious about what we do and get them to become part of our Toastmaster community, our experience. So here's a special event flyer that I designed. Feel free to capture a screenshot. And I'll break this down again with the 3 stages, what goes where and why, and what the results were. Instead of hosting an open house, my club met in a hospital inside the community by where I lived. I thought, oh, this is very convenient. I'll go join that club. And I joined. Come to find out, there were 8 or 10 people on the club roster. And I thought, you're in a hospital. All these people need better communication skills. What's happening? Oh, well, you know how people kind of get really negative. Oh, no, it'll never work. We had one of those. We did. I did a pitch to the club officer team and said, where are we at with the club? Moments of Truth, great program for that. The VP of membership happened to be a nurse at the hospital. And she said, either we need to resuscitate this club, put the EK to the paddles on it, or we're going to die. How she said it, I think, struck fear in all of us. We liked our club. We didn't want it to die and turn in our charter. And what about the rest of us who still have great benefits to give and to share and receive from this organization? So I said, okay, well, what if we had a Speechcraft program? And they go, what's that? Well, sometimes we need to educate ourselves on the value of the programs that Toastmasters have. This has often been called the best kept secret for membership building inside of our organization. So I share this with you so that you can also be successful with it. We hosted a special event, and I volunteered to do some of my professional material on Speak Like a Pro. So that's one of my logos there. Free seminar, the logo, the questions up at the top, that name the pain. So there's the relevance. What are the challenges? Remember earlier I said match the message to the audience? When we talked about this with our club, we determined our best audience to be served were the employees on site at that hospital. We completely agreed on that, even though we also did marketing outside of the hospital in the community, libraries, bulletin boards, coffee shops, etc. We determined that our market were the professionals in the healthcare industry. So we targeted, again, match the message to the audience, match it to them, free seminar up top, when the date is, where exactly it's going to be, and then building with the confirmation, how is it relevant to them, the benefits, the value, the bullet points indicating more of here's what's in it for you. Bullet points are quick, easy to pick out and go, yes, this is for me. The credibility, the biography of the speaker, establishing them as a subject matter expert. So apply this to any open house, any guest speaker that you have. Why them? Why this topic? What am I going to get? Because it's not the money, which is our greatest competition. It's the time, the energy of, oh, another meeting. What's in it for us? Sell the value. And then the call to action, From this flyer that went out, and I said, okay, how many people can we have in this room? And I looked and it said 85. And I'm thinking, that's our goal. Oh, no. We could never have that many people. We did. We hit the fire code, 85 people. So here are the details. Using this flyer and the promotion that we did, we had an in-person Speechcraft series in the hospital, in our regular meeting room, on the regular day and time the club would normally meet. Okay, so see how we were doing it to build the club. The club provided snacks. There's nothing like free food that brings people in. We promoted it in the building, in the mailboxes, everywhere that we possibly could. People invited people. Here are the outcomes. 65 guests that were not Toastmasters. They were not Toastmasters. These were brand new people who maybe had heard about Toastmasters, but they were not members. We had 10 of our club members, 14 of the guests enrolled in the Speechcraft that night. And then because those people went back into their workplaces, 4 or 5 more enrolled at the series start. So we had the free seminar, invited them to the next regular meeting so they could see what everything is. And then the next meeting launched the Speechcraft, where everything is focused on them, and the club members became the guides, helping them serve as the functionaries. Here are the results. 12 to 14 new members. One member earned his final commitment for his Distinguished Toastmaster. We went from a club that was almost dead and turning in our charter to President's Distinguished in 6 months' time. You can do this. At the end of my presentation, my fellow Toastmasters stood up and handed out this enrollment flyer, is what I would call this. We use this to help close the deal as our call to action. This is what you get. Down at the bottom, it indicated when the meetings would be, the time, the dates, and the tuition was $50 US, inclusive of all training materials and weekly club meetings. Here it is, through September 30. Through September 30. So this started in June. Look at how much more practice they got included in their minor investment. Feel free to capture a screenshot of this one. It pulls in TI branding, colors, fonts, images, the 3 stages. There you go. You can use it as a model. You have abundant resources and support. As we've taken a look at marketing of what goes where and why, some makeovers on this, you have so many areas of support, including the Club Growth Director resources. You can find this on the website. You have the recording will soon be available from yesterday's power-packed session with Pat Johnson on corporate clubs. And you can also order her book. It's item B79 from the TI bookstore. I strongly recommend it. It's the only resource of its kind. All right, so District 91 just recorded a session, so perhaps we can also make that available as we share our resources for the video on that on Speechcraft. And again, Lena will be coming up to you on the Speechcraft panel. So it's bringing together from Region 10, Districts 59, 107, 109. So you're going to want to put that onto your calendar for the 19th of November. On the international websites, there's abundant resources under Speechcraft. So if you do a search on Speechcraft in the TI site, it will take you exactly to that section. Pay attention to the brand portal and the brand manuals and use TI fonts. Everything in my session today has been TI branded that I did, bringing that forward. And in District 109, of course, we have our Speechcraft chair. So you'll be hearing more from him in just a minute. Hopefully you're putting some questions into the chat. I'll come up on that for just a second. Here's a few questions for us as we consider doing a Speechcraft. Who needs the skills and benefits that Toastmasters has to offer? So I take us back to the very first question that I asked, why did you join? And think of those needs that you wanted as a desired outcome. What did you want to improve upon? There are other people like you who want the same thing. What are their needs or challenges, the desired outcomes? When is a convenient time to attend a club? Something that Lena will be able to do is district-wide is to create a spreadsheet of which clubs are hosting a Speechcraft, when do they start, who is the club coordinator, the details regarding it, so the people who are interested in Toastmasters know where to go to participate in a Speechcraft program. Where are they located? Because today it could be anywhere in the world. Why would they attend? They're looking for the value and the benefits. And will they invest? Even at 50, 75, 120 as an investment, tuition is still the least expensive training program available in the world. You have the interactive map online that you can go in and you can check out what's available in your particular area. So, what's your interest? In the chat box, if you would please. This will be very beneficial for Lino and Meltham to follow back with you. Put a number, you can put your name, you can put a number by it. If you want to conduct a Speechcraft in your club, put a number 1 and put the name of your club. And if you're from a different district other than 109, it's okay because the team will also get back to your districts as well. Number 2 in the chat box would be that you want to host a Speechcraft to start a new club. And our club growth director has a full team of support for you on that. Number 3, that you'll complete a Speechcraft before the end of this Toastmaster year, which means 30 June. Whoops. And number 4, if you are currently... There we go. If you're currently conducting a Speechcraft, what is the name of your group or your club? So with that, I'm going to go into the chat, and as we prepare for our group photo and then Q&A, let me see if I have missed anything. And thank you. And Daruk is going to be collecting the questions here, and Lino is going to be collecting the answers on this survey here, what you're interested in. Yes, thank you. All right, so the handouts are, again, uploaded into the chat box. Thank you very much. Thank you for keeping up with me. Those are, thank you, Alexandra, very usable tips. Thank you. You're very welcome. Cecilia, thank you. Thank you for your compliment here. Internal. Okay, Jenna, great. Okay, the resource book, great. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you, Ram. So the question regarding, I know your club, World Travelers. All right, so were they patients waiting to be seen? They were not, but that's really funny. We could, though, because our flyer did go up in the hospital. Boy, I didn't ask if any were actual patients of the hospital. I know I became one, but I rubbed something in my eye and ended up in the ER. I thank you. That was hilarious. All right. So, all right. Oh, good. Okay. So, Treka, thank you. So, if anyone wants to partner in conducting, all right. So, then to partner, here's what you would do then if you want to do that. Each club needs to host their own Speechcraft, and that it needs to be a member of that particular club in order to receive credit. You could, however, let's say that you have a Speechcraft coordinator and someone is interested in having a series in a different club. You could be their unofficial assistant, shadow them and get the mentoring, and then take that back to your club when you host your own program. All right, so great. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Good responses here. Thank you. It's a great way to promote those and attend on a regular basis. Thank you. So with that, as we pull back curtains and get ready for our photos, our photo op, and our Q&A. So in this session so far, we have learned who our readers are, how people need to see the visuals, and that we look at things in a certain manner. We're highly visual. We've learned what goes where and now understand the why behind it. I'm guessing you'll never look at a visual advertisement ever the same way again. I'm guessing that. Would you agree? So chances are you'll never design a piece ever the same way again either. which means that we stand to be so much more effective in marketing anything that we do for Toastmasters or our own businesses on the side. So I hope that this has been a very valuable session for you and that you use these skills, you take them back to your club and you share them with others. Don't keep this a secret, and use Speechcraft to build your club, to start a new club, to invigorate those members. Oh no. Boy, he came to life. The gentleman who was like that, oh, we could never do that. He became Employee of the Year at the hospital. Amazing. So it is possible. And I'm here today, 38 years later, because I was invited to an 8-week communication skills series. So back to you, Mr. Speechcraft Coordinator Lino.
Thank you very much, Sheryl. You fed us with a lot of information, very insightful, very effective, and very brain tickling. And we have a lot of work. We will have a lot of work to do within the district on the Speechcraft, and that is your fault, and I blame you.
I will accept that blame to your success.
Okay. I have to ask Melton for a pay raise because I have a lot of work ahead of me, and I think this is a good moment. Really very, very, very interesting because I think I had the experience of a Speechcraft in my club, very successful, but hearing other stories and other experiences is really a big boost to try again to do something different and more effective. Next week, that is November 19th, same time, 6:30, we are organizing a panel on Speechcraft, which is going to be a very practical and experience sharing kind of panel, which will involve, besides our host Kate Laurel, Michael Monroy, co-founder of Toastmasters Spain, Marina Tartaram, District 59 PQD, and myself, and we will present and share our personal experiences and be open to answer any question or any practical things that people that will attend will. You are all warmly invited, and please spread the word around. And within District 109, anybody that has questions or willingness to talk about Speechcraft, I'm more than available. You have my contact in the material for today's meeting, and I look forward to speaking to many of you that have answered with good numbers in the chat. Back to you, Sheryl.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I think now do we take photos and then we have Q&A? I would love a group photo if everyone would turn on their cameras and we can go to a gallery view here. And let's see all my lovely family members. Denise, hello, sweetheart, in Turkey. Hello, hello, hello. Marty, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for, I quoted you today from yesterday's session regarding the English exam. Thank you. Thank you. Katya, you're on screen now. Yay. Good to have you, Madam Director. Oh, this is lovely. Everybody smiling? Marty, you disappeared. Marty, where'd you go? There we go. Thank you. Hi, Marty. Well, I got my photos. Anybody else want some?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sheryl.
My proposal is Sheryl is here tonight as a special guest. You can have me every day. Please, Sheryl, you answer the questions. I will do it next week. I save my answers for next week.
Okay, fair enough. Taruk, thank you again for the graphics that you prepared, and thank you for your promotion as well as being our QA master. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to have you with us today, Sheryl, dear Sheryl, DTM. Actually, there is a question with a design. Is that okay if I share with you? And
Yes.
I love so much emoticon that are starting to appear in our desktop.
One of the questions actually is there a chance that we can demonstrate once more with the design that I shared in the chat? How to
Oh, was
improve
there
it
one in
on
the, am I to see, is there a file in the chat for me?
yes, I actually shared it in the general.
Oh, sorry. Can you share it on screen? Is this for the contest mastery? Can you share screen?
Definitely.
Thank you. All right. And you would like feedback on it? Is that correct?
That's right. One of the questions, it's visible, I suppose, or shall I zoom a
Now
little?
it is. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So this is an internal. This is internal. Can you enlarge a little bit for me, please? Maybe increase the size down at the
Sheryl,
bottom.
this is Burak.
Yes. Hi.
Thank you for considering to giving me feedback. This is a special event that we're like to share internally, but in addition, our club needs more external new members. That's why we promote this in LinkedIn and Facebook. So I'd like to get your feedback on the design.
Sure, thank you. Okay, so already you have two different markets. You are internal and external. Consider having two designs, one for internal and do a different one for external, because the external, you would modify the layout. Right now, the logo is in the upper left-hand corner. The district is in the upper right-hand corner. So those are not important to non-members. What would be, okay, and then you have your club name and number very large at the top. So let's think, see, this is okay for internal. However, I want to know, because it's my time, it's in December, holidays are coming, there an evening. So I would want to know what's in it for me to attend. So winning evals, it's a panel of champions. So these are these are evaluation champions. District evaluation champions is who these are, correct? Okay,
Yes.
so if I'm asking questions, someone else might have the same questions. So let's clarify. And even for internal, Baruch, you could have up at the top, want to improve in your evaluations, question mark. Ever thought of entering the contest, question mark. Maybe there would even be a third question that you ask up at the top. Attend this special event on how to, so how to could be in that title, how to prepare a winning evaluation from a panel of champions. Make sense? That would actually be very effective for each audience. Pull the Toastmaster logo, though, and the district much, much lower, and put information that's going to be relevant to me up at the top. Up at the top. Now, with the photos tilted, so both for Janet and Keith, they actually need to be tilted the opposite ways. So anyway, tweak this one so that those two photos are tilted the other way instead.
And you can explain quickly why for the audience to learn
This
it?
one feels awkward. This one feels awkward as a tilt. A tilt helps you create implied motion and movement, and it brings energy into the design. You could also go very symmetrical, though, where everyone is straight on.
Mm-hmm.
You could do. It feels awkward that they are tilted in. Usually in that type of layout, they would be tilted going the opposite way, just a little bit. Yeah, tweak it, play with it a little bit more. Add some benefits in here, as if I were a member, what's important to me? And if I know nothing about Toastmasters, it could be that you modify the word evaluation to feedback. Evaluation, as Pat Johnson commented yesterday, in the corporate environment, it means it's an employee performance review. And the evaluation is what we call it in our process. Whereas with the general public, perhaps the word feedback would be more acceptable to get you the results that you want. I would love to see what you do with these. I think my email is somewhere. Oh, in the document, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to see what you do with these as modifications. Good. Thank you for
Excellent.
asking. Yeah. Thank you for
Thank you. And the last
volunteering.
point that
Yeah.
feedback is very important to improve public speaking and communication. So it's the foundations to actually elevate your speaking capabilities.
Absolutely. So say that on the poster.
We'll do it, and I will share with you. Thank you for your generous offer here.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. We all learned from you. So thank you, Farouk.
Thank you.
Thank you for your valuable feedback. It was also good to show as an example how can we improve designs, and thank you very much for it.
You're welcome.
And next question actually is we in this presentation we did not cover video content about Speechcraft that much. And also, would it be a great way to market and present Speechcrafts, in a video form content? Actually, that's and also maybe an option in addition to flyers.
If I understand correctly, it would be video promotion of either club meeting or the Speechcraft. Is that correct? I would say yes, absolutely. Same thing in a video promotion. Start out by asking a question. Do you need to give a presentation at work? Are communication skills difficult at times for you? Need a safe place to practice? I'm so-and-so. And It helped me. Toastmasters helped me. There is coming up, there is an 8-week communication skills course that will help you think, listen, and speak better in a short amount of time. For the investment of contact so-and-so for more information and improve your communication skills today. 1 minute or less, video testimonial. Yes. Same format with the 3 stages. Same format. I'd love that for promotion. Are we talking TikTok? Depends on who your market is too. Again, tailor that same message, because who do you want to attract to your Speechcraft program or to the personality of your club? You could do, and I was reminded that I was brought in as a guest speaker for a Speechcraft that was launching for small business owners. Everything was tailored to help them succeed.
Thank you so much, Doruk. Thank you for sharing your questions, and thank you so much all the questions who sent. I want to kindly invite also our Katya Burada, district directors. Please, stage is yours, Katya.
Thank you, Meltem. Meltem is our queen in terms of click growth. She's amazing. And I need to be honest, Sherry, what I really appreciate tonight, more than all content, is that you engage our team, as a star. So I really appreciate that you mentioned Meltem job and her team and also Lino. So thank you for that, because we are here thanks to their commitment. We are a team. We want to valorize anyone. And for me, this is, the added value that you given, because we know that you are a star. We know that you are really good, full of knowledge, and so. But this is something that make you a very good person for us. You given something special, and this is the first time that we received. So you did it different. Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
very
Meltem.
welcome. Thank you for the invitation to be of service. Thank you.
And thank you so much. Big applause to you. Thank you, everyone, all attendees. It was
Click record.
Yeah, I worked at Volvo Cars here in Gothenburg, Sweden, and I was at a restaurant there eating, and came out, and there were two ladies standing with a table, lots of information about Toastmasters, and I had never heard about Toastmasters. This was 2003 in May, and one of the ladies came up. I said, "Okay, communication, leadership, and so on." And one of the ladies came up to me and asked me in English, "Are you interested?" And I said, "Well, I have no trouble speaking in front of people." And I think a lot of people that would hear that would probably say, "Okay," and leave you standing, right? Nope. She took her hand on my shoulder and said, "Great, join us and help us. Join us and help us." That one sentence, I didn't join it. I went to the first meeting at September 3rd, 2003, signed the papers, paid when I got home, and I was a member 2 weeks later. So, and at the same time, I have to say that anybody can speak, anybody can open their mouth, but how do you do it? Something different. So it's important to how you talk about the benefits of Toastmasters. And this story is it's a famous story now after 22 years. I'm still talking about it. And the lady who said that to me, we're good friends now. We've been ever since. But another thing, you never finish learning unless you want to stop learning. So these are the big benefits of that one sentence. With the benefit, I'm still learning. I'm still, after all these years. Yep, that's the story.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, everyone. Is somebody sending out